King, we had him on last week. I said, I don't think Tom Brady shoved Bruce Arians out the door. I think he kind of nudged him. Some things don't have to be said. I've always felt this with Colin Kaepernick. I don't think there's collusion right now in the league not to have him. I think he has a chance to play for Seattle, but he did sue the league. Unless you see him as a franchise quarterback, he wasn't great 5-6 years ago. You don't need to make phone calls around the NFL for most GMs to say, it's probably not going to work for us. I don't think that qualifies as collusion. A lot of things don't need to be said for everybody to understand it. I think there's a sense that Brady and Arians, he would have come back. If he wanted Bruce Arians back, Bruce Arians would be back. If he called and said, hey, Bruce Arians returns or I'm out, it worked out. So Peter King had this morning in his column had a quote. He said, listen, quarterbacks have had major problems. Bradshaw hated Chuck Noll. Phil Simms and Bill Parcells, major battles. That's true. Elway chafed at controlling Dan Reeves. Joe Montana, big issues with Bill Walsh. Mike Holmgren had some with Brett Favre. Aikman thought Barry Switzer was a clown. Russell Wilson butted heads with the Seattle coaches. Yes, I do think, especially once quarterbacks have won Super Bowls, and we're getting into a point now, guys make $30, $40 million a year. When people start making $35, $40 million a year, not only do they change, the people around them change. Expectations change. There's more pressure on you to win as a quarterback. So my takeaway on this has always been, when strange things happen quickly, there was stuff happening behind the scenes. Brady retires and unretires. Weird. Bruce Arians, who never had any interest working in the front office, suddenly goes upstairs in the front office. Weird. And in a league where offensive coaches are who you hire, the defensive coach, Todd Bowles, got the job over Byron Leftwich, telling you Brady had some pull and said, hey, I don't want to have a new guy in the building. I want to work with Byron Leftwich. We're not perfect, but I like the symmetry here. So it's I don't believe there was a get out of here, I'm leaving. I believe there was I'm 44. I'm going to be 45 once the season starts. I got no time to waste. I'll come back, but things are a little choppy, and I'm kind of over that. I don't even think it needs to be said. I think once Brady retires, Jason Light knows. He said he was going to play till 45. The roster's still good. Division's terrible. I think it's sort of understood. You don't have to explicitly write and say everything for everybody to get it. Right? Like when your wife's mad at you. When your boss is disappointed with you. He doesn't need to come down and write it out. I think it was understood. Brady was like, I'm going to be 45. I'll come back, but I'm not really into getting criticized publicly. I'm going to kind of do it my way here, and you make the moves. So not everything needs to be said. Peter King's takeaway is, quarterbacks are bumpy. Think about this. Those relationships were bumpy, and those quarterbacks were making $600,000 a year or $500,000. Now they're making 45. So money changes everything. It changes how people act around you. It also changes expectations. Like, Brady's not doing this anymore just to do it. Like, if he doesn't think he is not getting on this flight. If he can fly without turbulence, he's going to fly without turbulence. He's got a lot of options. The more options people have in life, like I can stay, I can go, I can come, I can go, they're going to have leverage. Brady's got the ultimate leverage. Tampa, if Tom doesn't come back, is a mess at quarterback. Like, they're a mess. They're a bad franchise. Tom comes back, they can win a Super Bowl. Who's got the leverage? It's all his leverage. Hustler Turf, the brand lawn care.
According to reports, Miami is trading Devontae Parker to New England in exchange for a 2023 third-round pick. They will also send a 2023 fifth-round pick to the Patriots in order to complete the deal.
Yeah.
He was selected by the Dolphins in the first round of the 2015 draft, but became available after the Tyreek Hill acquisition.
Yeah, that was a good move by them.
I think it's good for both teams.
Yeah, no, New England still has a pretty suboptimal wide receiving core, but I would say he's the most explosive, dependable receiver they have now. What does he average? About 60 catches, 4 touchdowns a year?
He played 10 games last season, 40 receptions, 515 yards, and 2 touchdowents.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a nice player.
He has 2 seasons remaining on his contract as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this for both teams.
Yeah.
You got Tyreek Hill. This is an excess positioned for you now. You have all the weapons that you need. Make a trade, even if it is within division. It's not something that's damaging to that particular core of your group at this point, and it's something that New England obviously very much needs.
New England doesn't draft receivers well,
right?
So get them on the market. And they did.
Yes.
Good get.
And Miami now has 5 picks in the first 3 rounds of the 2023 draft, 2 first-rounders, a second-round pick, and 2 third-round picks. So you have everything in place now with all this draft capital. Next year, if Tua is not the guy, slide it on over to who will ever take it and move up and get the guy you want.
Yeah, I think Tua is actually going to have a pretty good year.
I think he is too. I think it could end up being a confusing year because
That's right.
he does. Well, not confusing. Look, the success is what it is. Like, you have all the pieces in place. You completely lean into the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be his year now. Teddy Bridgewater is a backup.
Yeah.
If he has success this year, great, perfect. That's what you want. You drafted him at that position for a reason.
You know what I really believe is that because of Josh Allen is so dominant, is that Tua is going to have a better year than last year.
Yeah.
And we already played this game. We gave you, if his numbers go up 15%, which I think they will with an offensive coach, is that either they stay with Tua or they move off him, but he'll get another chance at starting.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the people like Marcus Mariota is now a starting quarterback. Tua, these moves by Miami have ensured that Tua is going to start for the next 2 or 3 years somewhere.
Right.
Miami or somewhere else, but if you go look at what they've done offensively, including the coaching.
Even the offensive line.
Yeah, it is. Tua's going to have decent numbers this year. He basically guaranteed he's going to get 2 to 3 minimum years of starting quarterback play in the league.
All right, and don't forget, you can see what it is. Like, the Rams moved off of Jared Goff. He played in a Super Bowl, and they moved off of Jared Goff.
Yeah.
So the leveling up in this league when it comes to that position is there is no limit.
Yeah.
The limit does not exist. So even if Tua does have a better year, he's got to show not just that he's capable of working with these weapons, he's got to show that he's a franchise quarterback this year. And what they've done is lean into giving him everything that he could possibly need to be able to do that.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Car Shield. Been with it for years, and no-brainer why. Easy and affordable to protect my car from expensive repairs. That's just for starters. Car Shield offers protection plans for about $100 a month. That's it. Covers more parts than ever before. Doesn't matter if you have an old car or a new car. You need a repair, you choose the mechanic. I choose him, and then Car Shield's administrators handle the rest. It's no headache, no paperwork. Plus, Car Shield plans include coast-to-coast roadside assistance. If your car breaks down, stuck on the side of the road, Car Shield administrators have your back. Rental car options, trip reimbursement at no extra cost, none. Get coverage today, and you'll lock in your price, and your price at Car Shield, if you lock it in today, it'll never go up. As long as you own your car, no matter how old it is, you lock in the price today. Protect your wallet from expensive car repairs. Go to carshield.com/herd or call 800-391-8888, 800-391-8888, carshield.com/herd. A deductible may apply. Save 10%. Wrong, there's plenty of both. Here we go.
Where Colin was right?
Well, the Lakers, lost, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. And I said 3 games into the season, this roster's a mess. It's a really old and will be an injury-plagued mess. Yesterday was their 39th starting lineup. I said in the first week of the year, AD's going to get hurt. LeBron will give you 60 games. They don't shoot the 3. They don't defend the 3. Old rosters fall apart physically, and when the players get hurt, they're out longer. This is exactly what we predicted. At times, an uninspired, disengaged, way too old NBA roster.
Where Colin was wrong.
Well, I thought Duke would win the championship. I mean, they got 4 first-round players. They've got Coach K. They were playing for something. And they had been the best team in the last 3 minutes of games when those NBA players would take over, but they didn't get exceptional guard play. Caleb Love was the best player on the floor when it mattered. And college basketball is full of surprises. Hubert Davis and Carolina are on fire. They made more key shots. They made more key stops in a game that could have gone either way. Missed free throws were probably the difference. But I thought it was Duke as the best team, the most NBA star-studded team. And it shows you that one-and-done stuff, it's not easy. Ask John Calipari. You can have all the NBA guys, but Carolina had the chemistry.
Where Colin was right?
Another great pro athlete chooses Los Angeles. I've said this. As entertainment and sports converge, why go to New York? New York teams are a mess. LA teams are all good. Why? Because this is the entertainment capital of the country. And you're really seeing LA pull away from New York anytime.